Yay! So welcome to day 3, session 5 of our MYMOON Power Musings. And today, so it's been a really interesting one. Today we were meant to be having a session with Natalie, and she messaged sort of this morning saying she wasn't feeling very well, and couldn't do the session today. The same thing happened yesterday with Claire. And it was really interesting because yesterday we were working with the inner summer and I was able to fix it. And I was able to fix it really quickly and really easily. And I was like, right, I know the person to pull in exactly. And she messaged me back straight away. And we were able to all dropped into flow like so easily. And today I was like, oh, we're in autumn. I can't fix this one. I can't fix this one, but what I can do is I can show up for it. And so it's like I had that conversation within myself where I was like, what's the best thing to do? Shall I just reschedule the whole session and just let it go? And then I was like, no, you show up. And I just felt like, wow, that's such a beautiful teaching of the inner autumn, isn't it? It's like the inner autumn is the phase where we're shedding, where we're releasing, where all of those parts of ourselves that we've been holding on to and we've been holding on like, yes, and like, being in our summer and being in our fullness, and then everything starts that needs to fall away starts falling away. So I felt like this is such a beautiful like teaching for myself today that I wanted to share with you all. And I was like, wow, yeah, it's like in that inner autumn, this is the invitation of transformation. It's the invitation to let go. It's the invitation to begin the process to surrender into our inner winter. And so today, here we are, and in this space of surrender, in this space of meeting. And I always love, like, my friend Charlotte, who's teaching this evening. She always has this phrase that she says, and it's meeting the ever unfolding moment. And I love that because I feel like that is so beautiful for this time of inner autumn particularly. So, the inner autumn phase is often the time when our inner critic comes up, often the time where we need to bring extra self-love into ourselves, into our bodies, to bring in extra kindness. But then it's also to know that this part of our phase also is I like to say sort of like wielding the sword of truth. Those things that have been inside of ourselves that are like, ooh, we can't hide them anymore. They're like really coming up, and it's like, okay, we have an opportunity to see those. We have an opportunity to do something about them if we choose to. But oftentimes when we're in this inner autumn phase, and this is what was for me historically, is I would come into my inner autumn, and because I didn't have like this awareness of that everything was in this process of deconstructing, like the leaves falling off the trees and in this transformational energy, I would really take this personally, like internally, and I would feel like, oh my God, like my whole life is imploding, like and there was so much meanness inside of me as well. There was so much sort of like body berating and I'm feeling like that I was doing a shit job on everything, and it was all just like there was so much unkindness. And so for me, this phase of the inner autumn has been a real reclamation of bringing extra self-love into my body, and remembering, like, in this phase of deconstruction, in this phase of beginning to come into surrender, that I'm having this opportunity to use all of the tools that are in my kit, and having that kit that's like, well stocked. And then I'm like, right, okay, I can remember. But also I feel like that this is the time when we also really need each other. We need our sisters, we need our friends, we need our loved ones, because in those moments where we drop into those feelings of deep self-doubt and criticalness, it's also really hard to remember sometimes. And I know, Rebecca, you've heard me say this before, but I really like to think about it in this way, is that we're all there holding out a hand to each other. And it's either somebody's holding out a hand to you that you're taking when you need to remember the beauty inside yourself and to remember the love that's inside of yourself. And then the next week, it's going to be your hand that's outstretched to another woman who needs that reminder of coming back home, like coming back home to yourself and back to your heart, back to your body. So the practice that I wanted to take us through today is just a really lovely, beautiful embodiment practice of connecting to our hearts, connecting to our wombs, connecting our breath to our hearts and our breath to our womb, and it's circulating that energy through our bodies. And so yesterday in our talk with Laura, she spoke a lot about that disconnection, that disconnection being that we spend a lot of time in our heads, less time in our hearts, and even less time in our wombs. So this is a beautiful, really simple, really easeful practice, very, very gentle as well, to help us come into this relationship with ourselves as well. And this is also a really beautiful self-love practice too. So we'll be just very, very, very gently holding ourselves and gently like stroking our skin as well. And this is a really lovely, gentle, embodied practice of self-love too. So I've made us a little playlist, so I will pop the playlist in the chat, and then you can play the playlist like we did yesterday with Grace. So if you play it from your phone or from your laptop, and I won't play it here just so that it's easier for you to hear me. If you link, and I will pop it in here. Okay. So before we press play, we're just going to I'll take you through the anointing ritual again. So, and even if you don't have any oils, like obviously you don't have these ones yet because I haven't sent them out. Actually, Rebecca does. But even just if you have another essential oil, just take it. And if you don't, you can just do the practice and just go through the motions, and that also will be very, very powerful and activating as well. So we're just going to take a little drop of oil in the palm of our hands. We'll just go through the practice. Taking a little dot. And the first place we're going to go is to our forehead. And so as we tap our forehead, we're just acknowledging our minds and all of the busyness that's in our mind. We're also bringing in our inner awareness, our inner intuition, our inner knowing, our inner guidance that is always there. And so just tapping on that space and welcoming it forward. And then we're going to come to the nape of our neck. Oh, and as we do, take a sigh. And as we touch the nape of our necks, we're activating our witch's eye. We're activating our spider senses, our knowing, our eyes in the back of our head. And then we're going to just do our perfume pulses on our neck. And so we're bringing our energy from our heads down to our neck. And then we're going to activate our heart space. And so just placing your finger on your heart and breathing into your heart and just really honoring the sacredness of your heart. Honoring that your heart gives love and that your heart receives love. And then allowing our heart energy to travel down our arms and anointing your wrists. So remembering that everything that you do in the day is led by your heart. And then rubbing your hands together, inhaling. Big sigh out and pushing all the way through your energy field, pulling your energy down from head to heart, and then placing your hands on your womb. And if you can, just on your bare skin. And just breathing into your womb space. And another sigh out. And notice how you feel. So even if you're not using essential oils, just notice how you feel. You're coming back into your body. Okay, and now when you're ready, we'll just press play together. And 1, 2, 3, play. So I'm a really big advocate for sighing. And I find that it's such a beautiful way to help us come into our bodies, help us to relax. And especially in that autumn phase where we need to let go, where we need to surrender, and oftentimes we want to be holding on. So as you come to your heart space, just placing your hands on your heart and just sending your breath into your heart. Big sigh out and deep inhale in. And as you bring your breath to your heart, just allowing your shoulders to drop and release. And as you bring your breath and your awareness into your heart and into your hands, welcoming your heart space. And just noticing how your heart is feeling, what she's sensing. And just telling your heart all is welcome. All is welcome. Her tenderness is welcome. Her softness is welcome. Her grief is welcome. Her joy. Wherever she is, just allowing her to be. Not changing it in any single way. Just meeting. And then with your breath, just creating spaciousness to invite more of the sensations, of the feelings, and of the emotions that are held in your heart. And then with your next exhale, I want you to imagine that your breath is dropping down from your heart, and your breath is dropping down. Imagine that she's sliding on a waterfall, and your breath drops from your heart on an exhale and comes all the way down and lands in your womb space. And as your breath lands in your womb, just bringing your hands all the way down to your womb space. And again, just breathing with your womb and just allowing your breath to move in and out of your hands and in and out of your womb space. And as your breath meets your womb, Just notice if there's any sensation, any colors, any tingles. Maybe there's emotions. Maybe there's absolutely nothing at all. And just wherever your womb is in this moment, again, just meeting her and just allowing her. And with every single breath, just meeting what's there, whatever that might be, not changing a single thing. And we'll take a deep inhale all the way into the base of your belly and a big sigh out. Do another 2. And then just see if you can just bring a gentle movement into your pelvis. It might be just a little spiral, circle, whatever pace feels good to you. And just thanking your womb for meeting you in this moment. And then I want you to imagine that as you're breathing with your heart and breathing with your womb, we'll just bring our attention back to our heart space. And with our heart, we're going to imagine that a smile is in our heart. This is called an inner smile. This is an ancient Taoist practice. And so just imagine and just actually feel in your body that your heart, that your spiritual heart in the center of your chest is smiling. And you can put a little smile on your face. And then as your heart smiles, you can send that smile down into your womb. Just imagine that your womb is smiling. And if it's difficult to make your heart smile, just think about a person that you just love and it's just so easeful, so easeful. I always think about my sister's little baby, Riley Ray. Just one thought of him and my whole heart smiles. Maybe it's a person, maybe it's a pet, an animal, maybe it's a flower, a place. And just allow your heart to radiate that smile, your inner smile. And just notice how your body feels as you turn on your inner smile. And then we're going to allow the smile, so you can feel that your heart naturally has light, heart has energy. And so allow your heart's light to travel down your arms, and then feel your heart's light coming out the palms of your hands. So we're activating our own healing light, our own, I call them healing heart hands. And so in this particular part of the menstrual cycle in autumn, where we need to welcome tenderness, or we need to welcome kindness into our bodies, into our beings, we can turn on our inner heart light. We can allow our heart's light to come out the palm of our hands. And now just very gently rub your palms together so you're creating a little bit of heat. And we can speed up a little bit, get that heat going. And then pull your hands apart and just bounce them a little bit. Feel your own energy, your own healing heart light. And then very, very gently, we're just going to stroke our own skin. And as you do, just imagine that you're sending your own healing heart light into your body. And as you do, just stroking whatever feels good, and just very, very slowly, very gently. And just noticing if your hands are drawn to any parts of your body that feels that it needs that extra love, extra tenderness, extra care. Where is calling for your attention? And sometimes when I can't stop thinking, my hands might go to my mind, and just that, so bring your own healing heart light into your mind to quieten the mind. And where just wants your extra love, your tenderness. And really stroking yourself as if you were the most precious person in the whole wide world. Imagine that tenderness that you would bring to a child or to someone that you loved, that really needed that extra tender love and care, and bringing that into yourself, like, and really allowing yourself to be your own best friend, your own support, your own kindness. And just welcoming your touch, welcoming your healing heart light. And if there's any areas of your body where you just feel to keep your hands still, and just breathing with those places. Feeling yourself as your own healer, self-healing, knowing that you have the power within you. And then we're going to come back to our heart space and just keep our hands on our heart. And just send your breath in and out of your heart again. And just notice how your heart is feeling, how she's sensing now. And again, not changing a thing, just creating spaciousness for what's there. Deep inhales into your heart. Big sigh out. And then we're going to connect our hearts and our wombs together. And if that you don't have a physical womb, we still have the energetic imprint of our womb space. So this practice can still be done. So I want you to keep one hand on your heart and bring the other hand to your womb. And we're going to send our breath down from our hearts into our womb with an exhale. And then as you inhale, send your breath from your womb all the way up to your heart. And then exhale, heart to womb. Inhale, womb to heart. Heart to womb. Womb to heart. And as you breathe, womb to heart, heart to womb, imagine that the breath is moving in an infinity symbol. You're breathing up and down this connection, womb to heart, heart to womb. And so as you breathe up from your womb, you're breathing up your creative life source energy into your heart. And then as you exhale from your heart, you're breathing down unconditional love, compassion from your heart to your womb. Breathing up creativity, breathing down love. Allowing these two energies to become infused with each other. Oh. And then just allowing your breath to come back to a natural rhythm. And again, just check in with your heart. Just notice how she's sensing, how she's feeling. Notice what's alive. And again, just meeting what's there. And then allowing your breath to connect back to your womb. Noticing how your womb is sensing. And giving so much thanks for this connection. And then just taking a scan all the way through your body, all the way from the crown of your head, from the top of your head, and just scanning all the way down. And as you scan, just noticing how you're feeling, how you're sensing. And if any areas feel tight or anything, just letting go, letting go. And then just following your own body's guidance, your own body's movements. And just taking any kind of stretches that you need. What is your body asking for? What is she calling for? Just taking any movements. And then just coming into a cuddle with yourself. And just thanking your body. Thanking her for all that she does. All of the places where she brings you, takes you. All of the experiences that you have through her. And if there's any places in your body that you know that you're a little bit unkind to you and you know that you need to bring that tenderness to, just placing your hands on those places and just sending your appreciation and your thank you. And then we're going to come back to our palms, give our palms a little rub. Place them over your eyes. Deep inhale, big sigh out. I'm just going to give ourselves a stroke down. Thank you, body. And then just gently coming back into the space together. And then if you want to, you're so welcome just to pop in the chat just a little word of how you feel. Beautiful, so nourished as always. That was beautiful. I'm very much needed, yeah. Okay, my dears. Well, thank you so much for joining me this lunchtime. Sending you all so much love. And this evening we'll be joined by Charlotte Pulver, and tonight's session will be absolutely wonderful. She's just a wellspring of information and knowledge and wisdom. So I'm so excited to be joined by her. And sending you a big kiss. Bye.